Hello and welcome to episode 935 of the Player One Podcast for Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going there, sir?
Pretty good. Trying to log into Amazon.ca.
Oh, no.
Just saying.
What are you trying to order something?
I am.
What are you getting?
An iPhone mount for my tripod because I'm going to be broadcasting my son's hockey games this season.
Oh.
It's not exciting at all. But
I was hoping you were getting something appropriate to discuss on the air if you were actually ordering it while we were recording.
Yeah.
Because I could have gone sideways.
Yeah.
What are you getting, Greg?
5-gallon tub of... Yeah. Alrighty, and with me from the great state of Washington is Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hello there.
Hi.
I'm sorry. I'm logging on to Amazon.com. US Amazon at the moment, so you'll have to excuse me.
Yes.
No.
Okay. I was just logging on to amazon.co.jp.
Oh, we're all ordering things.
To
what are you
check on
getting?
my pre-order of Humanity for the PlayStation 5
But don't you already own that game?
console. Yeah, I do, actually.
Why would you buy it again?
I don't
Who does
know.
that?
I don't know.
Play it. I've lived it.
I lived it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I got a beverage. I got a novelty beverage.
Oh,
good.
Okay.
Today.
Is it a pumpkin spice something?
It's not, boy, I'm not a fan of pumpkin spice anything.
You're not?
No,
I love
I'm not
pumpkin spice.
I'm not a pumpkin spice boy.
Yeah, I mean, neither.
I am anxiously awaiting the post Thanksgiving season when all the pumpkin spice goes away and all the
Gingerbread?
peppermint stuff shows up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not like a gingerbread person?
I mean, gingerbread's fine.
Yeah.
I've certainly had gingerbread flavored soda.
Are you a coffee person, by the way?
Oh no, I
Just in
no,
general? Yeah,
no,
me
not
neither.
a coffee fan.
No. Same
No.
here.
Nope.
No.
Even the stuff like people have been like, "Oh, you don't like coffee? Have this coffee beverage."
Yeah, I went through a lot of
You'll
that
like
in my
this.
early 20s.
Yeah.
Where all
Yeah.
my
It's
friends
It's
were just
super
like,
sweet.
"Try
You won't
this."
even notice.
No.
It's all
Yeah.
nasty. What I have with me today is a new 7-Up variant.
Ooh.
This is 7-Up Zero Sugar Shirley Temple.
Oh. They finally put that in cans, huh? Did
It's
they
a
have to
Shirley-
have officially licensed that from Shirley Temple Black?
From the estate of Shirley Temple?
Yeah.
I don't know. This
I
is
would
a-
have to imagine, unless it was a generic used so often that her name became generic.
I don't know. Pomegranate and cherry soda. If you've ever
Like
had
a-
a Shirley
like a-
Temple beverage.
Like an Arnold Palmer.
Well, that's
That's
different.
not at all like an Arnold Palmer.
No.
No, but there's a drink named after somebody.
Oh, that's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
That
We
is
all know
true.
why Arnold Palmer's on CJ's mind.
Why is that?
Isn't he the one that Trump was talking about this week?
Talking about
Elaborate,
how?
please.
What's that?
Yeah,
Okay,
talking
you
about
both-
how.
What do you mean?
You know how.
What
I
do
don't
you
know
mean?
how.
You know how.
Explain it to me. As you would a child.
I believe he said he was all man.
And all that implies?
It
Oh,
was a very presidential speech.
Oh, boy. Now,
Yeah.
CJ,
yeah.
I want you to answer a question for me. Shirley Temple drinks,
Yeah.
as you know, non-alcoholic beverage.
Yes.
It's basically this. It's 7-Up and cherry juice.
Yeah.
Grenadine.
Grenadine.
I'm assuming you had these growing up.
Yes. Yes.
You're also from the Chicagoland area, much like myself.
I am. Yes.
Did you call these Shirley Temples?
No.
What did you call them?
I don't think so.
What did you call
I didn't call them Shirley Temples. I don't remember what I called it, but it wasn't. I didn't find out about that name until later, I think.
I'm in the same boat. You tell me. Maybe this will ring a bell.
It might.
To me, growing up, Shirley Temples were always kitty cocktails.
Kitty cocktail. I was going to say kitty cocktail. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is a regional thing, not just like a weird Theobald family thing.
It must be because,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't know what that was called.
Yeah.
That
When I
was
first
called
heard,
a Shirley Temple until
yeah,
later.
I had no idea what that was. And then someone explained it to me, and I was like, "Oh, it's a kitty cocktail."
That's right.
Let's see. Back in the 80s, you could drink kitty cocktails. You could smoke your candy cigarettes.
Yep.
Let's see how this came
And their
about.
cherry clans.
Mm. Oh, that's so racist. Not.
I was gonna say the what?
Not
Cherry clan.
Not 7-Up Zero Sugar Shirley Temple. That is not a racist beverage.
No.
The candy to which CJ is referring.
Cherry clans. But
Which is part of the... Well,
they had a different name initially.
It was part of the Lemonhead family, right?
Lemonhead family, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
had
were
a
mighty
racist,
tasty.
Chinese cherry candy.
Yeah, originally they were called what?
Wait, were they called something? They were called something before cherry. Like, are they called Cherry Clan now?
They're called Cherry Clan now.
Was it Chan?
Yes.
Oh. See, what's terrible is you said the replacement name, and I was like, "Boy, that sounds racist."
That reminds
You're
me.
like, "Oh no."
That reminds me of
super racist name.
There's something worse.
Yeah, that reminds me of the name that we used to call black, like the little black licorice candies that were shaped like babies. I'm not going to say it.
Oh,
but yeah, it was.
What were they called?
It was bad. I'm not going to say it.
I'm just going to say we did not call anything.
No. I mean, by the time I was around, like, you know, when I was a kid, they were still a thing. We didn't call them by any like terrible slur or anything like that, but
yeah,
they were referred to like that.
Dear.
Just like how this turned into us trying to get the other people to say something racist.
Yeah, I don't know why you're doing that. I'm being serious. But anyway,
I'm going to try the Shirley Temple again. I almost spit out my first sip of it, and CJ starts bringing up
Cherry
CJ started
Chan Clan over here.
No, Cherry Clans are the non-racist version.
They sound racist.
Yeah,
they really sound racist.
Yeah,
it does. They didn't change the typeface of the logo, the packaging.
Oh,
yeesh.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I declare this pretty good. It tastes like a kitty cocktail. It's not not quite as sweet as I recall kitty cocktails being.
Well, because they would dump that grenadine in and then put a maraschino cherry on top.
Oh,
you know,
give me an extra maraschino cherry in there. My goodness, treat me. Oh, see, I should have brought in a clear glass, like a little.
So you could see if it was really
like a pint glass. Well, I can see from the remnants around the rim, it is kind of a pale pink, so it's probably very pretty in a.
But you know what's the real difference between that and a cherry 7-Up?
The addition of pomegranate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this has pomegranate and cherry.
Oh, well, that's a little different then.
Yes. So there you go.
Yeah,
but it's good.
I wonder if the Shirley Temple estate had to approve the formula.
Jesus.
Is it an officially
Shirley
licensed
Temple squeezins?
Is it an officially licensed product?
You get a drop of Shirley Temple embalming fluid in every can. I don't see any sort of licensing.
No seal.
There's no there's no trademark or registered by Shirley Temple's name or anything.
No picture of the good ship Lollipop.
Nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, though. One sip of this is like a sweet trip to the candy shop.
I thought you were going to say sweet trip to when Shirley Temple movies had to cheer up America from the Great Depression. One swig brings you right back.
My goodness. How come we don't have Shirley Temple today? A Shirley Temple analog.
I was going to say, we don't have Shirley Temple today.
We do.
She's dead, isn't
Just
she?
take a look at TikTok. That's your analog, right?
Is it?
I don't know.
Is Timothy Chalamet the modern day Shirley Temple?
Oh, yeah. What drink is that going to be?
Timothy Chalamet?
It's Timothy Chalamet.
What is it?
You're saying it wrong.
What am I saying?
Chalamet.
Chalamet?
It's like M. Night Shyamalan. They're mixing
That's
them
the
up.
ultimate twist. Same guy.
Oh my God.
I've
Timothy
seen through his
Chalamet.
facade. What is it?
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was saying Chalamet at DuneCon last week. I must have looked like an idiot.
Yeah.
DuneCon.
I got kicked out when I showed him my sandworm cosplay.
It's inappropriate.
Ouch.
Well, because it was Beetlejuice themed and not Dune themed.
Oh, right.
And they were like, that's next door. That's the con next door.
Next door.
It's your own fault for holding them on the same weekend in such close proximity, is what I should have said.
I see. Okay.
Well, you've really lost control of this show, CJ.
Let's all enjoy a kitty cocktail. Should we talk about some video game news?
Yes.
Not a whole lot of uplifting news this week.
That's weird because there's such a positive vibe everywhere else.
Yeah. I know, right? The positive vibes just won't stop coming. All right. Well, apparently Ubisoft has disbanded the Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown development team.
Yeah, I did see that.
So you can have a game that is well regarded, critically acclaimed, mid-80s Metacritic, but have it not sell well, and then the team gets disbanded. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's that. Apparently they are going to be lending a hand with their expertise elsewhere. So who knows what that means?
I mean, the good thing being they didn't all lose their jobs.
I guess we don't know that for sure.
Well, I mean, the way that that's written makes it sound like they've just been dispersed across other teams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, in the current environment, it's more
lending a hand to
lose your job. So,
are they lending a hand to the chief financial officer by eliminating their paychecks so that person gets a higher bonus?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the executives over at the studio behind Baldur's Gate made some tweets and said that the hardest thing is to make an 85 plus game. It's much, much easier to release one. Yeah. So the fact that they made a good game is not enough. And he says that Ubisoft should have released it on Steam. It just came out on Steam very recently. Oh. So if sales were why
it was
the team
in favor,
got
I mean, when they released it on PC, it was through the Ubisoft store, right?
Ubisoft store and Epic Games store. Yeah. But if it had come out on Steam, it might have been a stronger market success. And yeah, the hardest thing is to make an 85 plus game much, much easier to release when it shouldn't be done as it was. Yeah. Not being released on Steam. So yeah, that sucks. In other Ubisoft news, they have apparently started an exploration on the Rayman brand. So
it seems to me that with console games in particular, Ubisoft just seems completely lost. It's like they don't know what they want to do right now. And, you know, I mean, I guess Star Wars didn't help. That was Ubisoft, right?
Yeah, it was Ubisoft. I mean, they don't want to let go of their cash cows, which are, you know, Assassin's Creed and that's Far Cry or Rainbow Six.
It's just funny, like with the whole
they
Rayman
struggle to make
thing,
anything else.
Yeah, and with the whole Rayman thing, it's like they're I don't know, investigating what they're going to do. Like, I mean, I don't know, like Beyond Good and Evil, like investigating like that, where, you know, like
where it leads to nothing.
It seems like if it's, it just seems like there's so little chance of them releasing anything that's not one of their big franchises or an attempt at something with a big license. And then when they do, like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, I mean, that was a pretty well received game, but they sure didn't release it properly.
Well,
it just trickled out.
The confusing thing was, so they released that. Then they also announced the Rogue Prince of Persia, like a month, like not long after.
Right. It's like they had no confidence in it or something.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I kind of don't trust them at all at this point. Like the Rayman thing, I want to be excited about that because Rayman games are good.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it actually turning anything out.
The problem is that they have these Assassin's Creed games and Rainbow Six stuff that do exceptionally well.
Right.
And doing anything on a smaller basis where you're sort of starting from scratch, like nobody knows the Prince of Persia license anymore, even though there was that movie not long. Well, I guess might be a long time ago now.
Do you want me to look up how not long ago the Prince of Persia movie was?
No, don't.
Because I bet. I bet it was 14 years ago.
Probably.
I mean,
probably so.
Nope. Exactly 14 years ago.
Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, you kind of have to reintroduce. It's almost like introducing a new IP to the market, and their release strategy of only putting it out on Uplay or their own channels. It's like, no, of course that's not going to be successful.
I think that's one of the big things is sort of got me that was where my mind went immediately. It was just like, you know, you sacrifice this game.
Yeah.
In an attempt to support your distribution service in a market that's so diluted with them, like,
yeah.
Were you aware that there was a DLC released?
Yes.
For Prince of Persia:
I
Lost Crown?
only knew that because of reading the articles about the team being disbanded.
Same.
That's the only reason I knew about it. Yeah, apparently there's a DLC for it. It's like, oh, I didn't even know that.
I heard of it was when
they had some free updates, and then they just released a DLC for it back in September.
Yeah.
That I had no idea about. Nobody was talking about that.
It's wild that was apparently the announcement of the DLC. But
well, apparently they had pitched a sequel, and instead of doing the sequel, Ubisoft let them do a paid DLC instead. So well,
I'm trying to remember too what came out in January, because I feel like, even though I'm just sort of looking here, like one of the Yakuza games came out in January.
Yes,
Last of Us Part 2 remastered, Pal World, that whole thing happened in January.
Yeah.
Tekken 8.
It was kind of a packed January.
The Short Message came out too, that Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was the other thing, is like it received generally positive reviews. I think the reaction to the original trailer was quite split.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know, man. It feels like it didn't stay in the public conscience nearly as long as it should have for how well it was received.
What games
tells you that it just didn't.
What games do nowadays? Well, they don't.
Yes, they do. Like Pal World did.
Well, that's a live service game.
Okay, but you see what I'm saying? It's just that I'm just trying to figure out why it sort of died on the vine like that.
That was an early access game too.
Yeah. That's all I'm getting at. It's just like, you know, I mean, I remember, I feel like people were talking about Silent Hill a lot longer than we were talking about Prince of Persia.
What about Hellblade 2?
I feel like, yeah, that's true. I feel like we on the show were an example of that, because I remember all three of us were playing it. I stopped playing it pretty fast. And I think you did too,
other stuff came out.
That's the point I'm making, is that, you know, and I feel you played more of it.
I did.
I think after about 2 or 3 weeks, we were done talking about it. I think even you weren't talking about it after that.
Yeah, I did. I did play significantly farther into it than you guys did, but I did get distracted by.
Yeah,
I think Ichiban.
Yeah,
which,
I mean, you know, this all sucks, but I don't know. I don't think it. I don't know. An 80 to 85 isn't necessarily. I don't know why we're scratching our heads about it, I guess is what I'm getting at. You know, in this market,
when
I don't know
there's
that an
a
80
lot
to
of
85
games
is actually is actually like, I don't understand why it didn't sell well. It's like, well, yeah, you released into a really crowded market, and the game was good, but it wasn't going to light the world on fire, like, you know.
No.
So I don't know. I know it's a slow news week, but
yeah,
you know, it sucks to hear. I'm glad to hear they didn't lose their jobs, because that's generally where the game industry goes right now.
That's true.
You know,
well, apparently they're doing an early exploration about Rayman. You think they'd go 3D, or would they stick that as I
don't think
2D?
They'll even do anything.
You don't think they'll do anything? Okay,
probably not.
They'll bring back Rayman 3. They'll do a remaster of Rayman 3.
I would believe that more than a new game, to be honest.
I did not like Rayman 3.
I can see, a remaster of, was it Rayman 2 that came out on the
2.
Dreamcast?
2 was
a remaster
good, yeah.
of that would be great, because that was a really good game.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But I think that was the last. I feel like that was the last time anyone was really talking about Rayman either.
Well, Rayman Legends is so good.
Legends.
Oh right, I forgot about the Legends game.
There was Origins, and then there was Legends.
Yep, you're right. I forgot all about those. It's funny because even we're talking about Prince of Persia, and I'm sitting here thinking like it's a shame, because I feel like they actually successfully rebooted Prince of Persia multiple times. Like Sands of Time was fantastic.
Yeah.
The Prince of Persia that followed after that series kind of fell apart with terrible sequels. The Prince of Persia they released after that, I adored that game.
Yeah.
And then, The Lost Crown, again, it was a solid game. So they've done a good job from a creative standpoint of rebooting that series. But even saying that, when I think of Prince of Persia, my memories kind of stop at the Sands of Time. Even though I absolutely loved the reboot that happened after that. It's just like, man, it's been a long time since we had Prince of Persia. And then I stop and think about it and like, oh no, they've rebooted that series multiple times really well. So,
well, and they announced a remake of Prince of Persia Sands of Time
for
long time ago.
2026, I think, is when it's finally coming out. Now they're saying
they announced it in 2020.
It's like, what the hell?
It's still not out.
Again, that's just like Beyond Good and Evil. Remember they announced Beyond Good and Evil too, and what was that, 20 years ago?
What is?
And every now and then it'll bubble to the surface, and they'll say they're still working on it or still thinking about it, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, in happier news, it looks like Vampire Survivors is getting a Castlevania DLC.
Oh my goodness!
So time is a circle, and is eating itself, and Vampire Survivors is getting a Castlevania DLC. Yeah. It's apparently going to be the biggest DLC pack the game has gotten yet. 20 characters, including the Belmonts, and then 40 new weapons, 30 new music tracks. They are pulling out all the stops for Castlevania within Vampire Survivors. Yeah.
Great game. I'm excited. I love Vampire Survivors.
It is a great game.
I will pick it up. I will have a blast with it for an hour or two until it starts putting me to sleep again.
Yeah.
And then I will put it back down.
That makes sense.
Pick it up months later.
Yeah. That makes a whole lot of sense. Well, in other
call Phil an a-hole?
No.
What?
Oh, it sounded like you called Phil an a-hole.
No. Why would I
do
hear
what you want to hear?
Yeah,
probably.
So coming up here on the Arcade Archives series,
it's pronounced Archives.
Archives. We are getting 1992's STG Macross.
Oh,
yeah, we
Presto. Yeah, coming out December 26th. This will be a little bit pricier than your normal
Boxing Day, everyone.
Your normal Arcade Archives release, but it's because it's a license.
And for that anime license.
I'm down with it.
Oh my God. Yes.
I'm excited about this.
Now I know what I'm spending my my Christmas money on. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get any money for Christmas, but
yes. Yes.
No, that's super exciting. I mean, and the Arcade Archive stuff is great anyway. I feel bad that I don't follow it nearly as much as I should, but the fact that they're even sort of springing to do these licensed games sometimes is just like, that's fantastic.
Well, is this the second license they've done? They did Mazinger Z.
Yeah.
And then
I think this is all they've done so far.
So, but I mean, there's so much more stuff out there that they could do.
Yeah,
they could.
So hopefully that means we're heading that way. But yeah, I mean, I don't even think I've ever played the arcade Macross game.
Oh no, I never have, certainly.
Are we thinking like US properties we'd like to see?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's more than enough Japanese like anime and manga properties
that'd be pretty cool.
They could dive. I mean, there's still some Gundam games out there that'd be cool to show up on this service, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, no, super excited about that.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. All right. That is all the news that I had in the outline.
All right.
So we're going to move on to what you've been playing. And Phil, that means you're up.
Phil, that's you.
Oh, boy. Okay.
It's you, Phil.
Well, I didn't play as much as I wanted to this week.
Yep.
Because I had a very unfortunate development occur this week.
Oh, no.
Yes. My television, a big old TV, decided it didn't want to work anymore.
That's no good.
I turned it on the other evening, and it just immediately turned itself back off. Like it was too tired to get out of
an M. Night Chalamet twist.
Jesus Christ. Chalamet.
Chalamet twist.
You posted this in our little production chat room, and I couldn't for the life of me remember, because the first thing I wanted to think of, or I thought of, was that prank we pulled on Ethan.
Oh yeah.
What was the name of the game? Was it
Airblade?
Airblade. That's what it was.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway, sorry, not to derail your TV story, but it just killed me.
Strangely enough, I was playing Airblade at the moment.
That's what I was going to ask you, and I couldn't remember the name of the game. It was
the power of the graphics was just too much that it overloaded the TV.
Oh my God!
Yes,
I love it.
So the TV had to shut itself off in order to avoid damaging itself.
Longtime listeners of the show will have heard this story, but it's been a long time since we told it.
Yeah.
And what this is based on is that who made that game, Airblade? Was it Namco?
I believe it's a Namco game, yes.
So when we were all working at Ziff Davis in Chicago, Ethan Einhorn, former host of the show here, was working at Game Now with Phil. And we all had like the same, generally, I think they were Sony televisions in our cubicles. And Ethan was sitting there playing this Namco game called Airblade for the PlayStation 2, I think it was.
Yes.
And somebody, I forget who, one of the other
Game Now guys. I think it was Mark Manzo.
Oh, okay. Mark Manzo.
Who was the Game Now art guy.
Was pranking him.
Yes.
By turning off his television randomly.
Yeah.
And Ethan being Ethan, and anyone who's listened to the show probably would, he didn't catch on to what was going on. He was just absolutely bewildered.
Yeah.
As to why this would happen. And I think he actually started talking to Mark and saying, like, "Guy, this is a good game. I don't get it though. My TV keeps turning off." And Mark said, "Oh, I heard about that. I heard that like the graphics are so powerful that TVs will short out. It's a safety thing. They're afraid they don't want to overload." Yeah, Namco programmed it to turn off your TV. And so, oh wow, really? That's weird. That's crazy. So that sort of tendrils went out from Ethan's from this conversation.
Yeah,
I think it was Mark that went back and actually found an IGN news page and wrote a story about this.
Mark took a screen grab of an IGN story about it, and then went into like Photoshop and just altered the text to include a paragraph about that. Because Ethan, he was playing this game for review.
Yeah,
and he was, because he's a very professional reviewer, he was unsure how this should affect his score.
Right.
So he while Mark is doing this, Ethan runs into Dan Leahy's office, who's the EIC, of Game Now, to explain it. Dan thinks Ethan's insane. because Ethan is explaining something that is nonsensical, but in Ethan's world is absolutely a true thing that is literally happening to him.
Right.
Dan is just boggled, and he just kind of pawns it off. He's like, go talk to John Davison. Maybe John has some advice.
So John was the EIC of official PlayStation magazine at the time, but he's also like sort of the head guy in our whole editorial group.
And and meanwhile, while Ethan's talking to Dan, like you said, tendrils going out where everyone is basically running around the office.
Everyone but Ethan was in on it at this point.
Filling everyone in, yeah. And he filled in, John Davison got filled in, and then Ethan comes to him, and so John just starts playing along. And I forget who it was.
Somebody contacted Namco.
Their PR person.
PR person.
Yes.
Who got them to play along.
Yeah, who we knew, of course. We were very friendly with many of the PR people because we worked with them so closely. And the PR person, I even forget who the PR person was, but
too.
They thought it was hilarious. And I think it culminated with Ethan calling them, right?
Yeah, John advised Ethan to call Namco's PR rep.
Yeah. And Manzo had presented the doctored article to Ethan. He's like, oh, not showing him on the screen, but he printed out a copy of it. It was just, here's a printout of this very legitimate website page.
I love it so much. Anyway,
that's
when you mentioned that your TV you turned your TV on and it just turned right back off again.
That's what it felt like.
First thing that popped into my head.
It's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah.
I was looking up, and it sounds like it's some sort of issue with like the power supply. Like there's like a power supply board inside the TV that, according to the LG customer service people, is replaceable. So
okay,
I have a TV repair person coming out to my home next week.
Wait, they still have that job?
They
TV
do.
repair person.
Well, you know what? It's someone from the Geek Squad.
Oh,
yes.
Well,
I
so
tried.
They're going to come out, shrug their shoulders, and tell you got to wait 2 weeks for a new TV.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, because the LG person I talked to, they were like, "Oh yeah, this is something that can be replaced. Let me get you I can get you contact information for a local repair place, or you can contact like Best Buy. Their people they have the capacity to fix this as well because they are a licensed LG repair place." So I tried contacting the local place first because I'm trying to support local businesses, and it has been days and they have not responded to me.
Yeah.
And then I looked up Google reviews, and there were like half the Google reviews were like, they're great, and the other half is they never contacted me, or they scheduled a repair job and then canceled it without telling me.
So remember when my television that I bought from Best Buy Canada was on the fritz, I literally went as far as sending actually I think I called. I found the number to get a hold of the CEO.
Oh.
And I called their office. And
Best Buy Canada?
That was when someone finally got back to me.
It was one simple step.
No, it wasn't one simple step.
Well,
it was the final simple step.
It sounds like that's your fault for not starting at the one simple step.
Yeah.
But
and by the way, dear listeners, because Luke Lore asked this in the chat, what was my role in the Ethan gag? I had no role in the Ethan gag whatsoever. I was probably just shaking my head.
Oh, don't give me that.
No, you were laughing.
Don't play like CJ's above all this. They're very immature fellows.
CJ was just sad he didn't think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I probably laughed along, but did not participate actively.
Looks like CJ's our next target of the prank, Greg.
Make my TV turn off.
Make a note, yeah.
Yeah, I have a different problem. My TV downstairs occasionally won't turn on from just the Apple TV remote itself. Like it will do it
We'll use
most
the
of the
TV
time,
remote.
but like 70%, or it'll do it 70% of the time, but then 30% it won't. And you have to grab the TV remote to turn it on.
Everything CJ does has to be linked to Apple somehow.
Yeah, that's the thing. CJ's big problem is I can't use Apple to control every aspect of my life.
I have an Apple TV. I use the Apple TV remote.
Let me tell you about
the
my
TV on.
Brings his watch up to his face and just says TV on.
My busted ass microwave doesn't interact with my Apple TV at all. I think I'm going to take it back.
Wow. Welcome to bits from from 15 years ago on the Player One podcast.
Oh, don't act like that's new.
Well, okay.
It's us using bits from 15 years ago. We just told a story about Ethan from 20 years ago.
Well,
years ago.
That's true.
All right. Anyway, my TV's busted.
Your TV's busted.
Hopefully it will get fixed soon. I am miserable without my TV.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, really, when you think about it. But I was the same way when the couple weeks I had to go without a television. I was just like, this sucks.
I had
You're probably getting a lot of use out of your PlayStation Portal, though.
We'll get into that. I had to watch the 2 new episodes of the final season of Star Trek Lower Decks. I had to watch them on my computer monitor.
Oh, like a peasant.
Oh my God.
A caveman. My poor wife.
You don't have an iPad
sticks together to create fire.
Well, me and my wife wanted to watch it.
You don't have a tablet you can watch. You
want me and my wife crowding around our iPad? Ooh,
yes.
Let's enjoy this.
Anything that makes you less comfortable, I want.
Yes.
No, we wanted a screen that we could sit at and watch. So we're not crouching, staring at our.
Sounds like you need to buy a loaner TV.
Well, it's terrible. I do have my old TV. It's out in the garage.
Yeah.
But it's buried behind some boxes. And I was just like, ugh, I'd have to go dig that out.
Yeah.
Because, clear out a space to set it up, hook everything up. And then a week later, do it all in reverse.
Yeah.
I got no time for that.
I see.
So anyway, I did bust out my PlayStation Portal because you know what I picked up this week? I didn't put this on the outline for reasons that will soon become clear.
Uh-oh.
But I picked up a copy of Sonic Cross Shadow.
I want to get that.
Generations.
Why?
Because I was in the mood.
Why?
You don't have enough to play?
I lost a bet.
Well received.
Oh,
I mean, well, you know what? Because it's a redo. It's a remake of
Generations was great.
Generations, which I did enjoy.
Okay.
And now it's got more edge.
Yeah.
Because it's got Shadow. The perfect being. Soon to be big screen star.
Yeah.
And I was in the mood to play a little Sonic. So I picked up Sonic on the PlayStation 5. And I figured, well, time to bust out the Portal. So I busted out the Portal.
Sonic's too fast for the
Portal. I
Portal.
feel like Sonic's not a good idea for the Portal.
Sonic is a terrible idea for the Portal.
Too fast for the Portal.
It did not work. I played through the first level, had quite a bit of difficulty where I really shouldn't have had a lot of difficulty because it was chugging along.
Yeah.
So I had to put that down.
Not a great option for
wait till I can play that on the big screen. But so I didn't get use out of my Portal. You know what I did get some use out of though?
What's that?
My Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
Which I don't
that old thing?
It may be old, but let me tell you, it hasn't worn out its usefulness yet.
I tell you what.
It's true.
That's the tagline to the Player One podcast.
Yes.
There's a secret undocumented feature of the Nintendo Switch.
Uh-huh.
Where if you can actually remove a section of the system from the box that plugs into your television, and there's a screen built in. You can play games.
Wow.
On said screen.
I do that a lot. Yeah. It's
pretty
cool.
Yeah, it's a gaming insider life hack.
Whoa.
So I was playing, I played a bit more of The Legend of Zelda, which, have either of you fellows played that? CJ
Yes.
played it. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But I picked up a new game for the Nintendo Switch this week. Just in time for Halloween, I picked up the Rocky Horror Show video game, which is
not licensed.
Oh, it's licensed.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It is licensed. Are you wondering because it doesn't say picture show?
Yes.
Well, the original stage play is just the Rocky Horror Show.
I see.
And they added picture when they made it into a feature film.
Well, now I know.
So other, stage performances or indeed video games are just the Rocky Horror Show.
Okay.
And it is, it's a retro styled platformer that is, inspired by the Rocky Horror Show. And I mean, obviously takes a lot of cues from the movie. Like Frankenfurter looks like Tim Curry, but like Janet doesn't look like Susan Sarandon, so it's kind of a weird hodgepodge.
Okay.
A lot of the songs, there's chiptune versions of a lot of the songs, which is great because that movie has some very good music.
Nice.
And it's okay. It's fine. It's super cheap. It's like $10 or less.
$9. Yeah.
It's $9. I finished it in like an hour.
Okay.
And I'm probably rounding up.
Sure.
And admittedly, as a novelty, like Rocky Horror thing, because I was like, this might surprise people to hear, but like in high school, I was super into the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Shocking.
Super into Rocky Horror.
I've never seen it.
Shocking
Back in the day. You never seen it?
No.
Oh,
I don't think I have either.
I mean,
I'm sure I haven't.
I'm not surprised a couple of squares like you.
Although it was on Comedy Central constantly. So you would
if you're watching it on Comedy Central, I mean, it's like, okay, I guess. I went and saw it in the theater, baby. Like you're supposed to.
Well,
went into Chicago, saw the whole McGillicuddy with the people up on stage acting along. Yeah. They hauled me up on stage the first time I saw it there so I could get humiliated as a Rocky Horror virgin.
Uh-huh.
It was great.
Cool.
Classic cinema verite at that late night double feature picture show.
Uh-huh.
But as a novelty, kind of like, oh, okay, it's I'm listening to the music and stuff. It's cute enough. Sure. Actual game, it's not very good. It's kind of a subpar. It's by the same people who did like the Angry Video Game Nerd game.
Yeah.
And if you've played that, it plays a fair bit like that, which is, okay, sure, I suppose, but it's that level.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It was, the couple bucks I threw in, and I was like, okay. Would I recommend it to you too?
Probably cheaper than lunch at Taco Bell.
I mean, that's true. Not nearly as delicious, though, let me tell you. And you got to supply your own Baja Blast.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, for a couple $7, $8, $9, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Anyway, and I played some Zelda. I am down to, which this actually may be where I was last week. Those 3 dungeons. You got the fire, the ice,
yep,
the wetlands.
Yep.
I've cleared 2 of the 3. I still need to do the wetlands. I'm stalling a bit because I want to do that on my TV. So I've just been.
Do you have an OLED? I forget.
I do.
You do? Okay.
And
OLED's, it looks great on the OLED.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely it does. Which is why I'm trying to like.
Great on the OLED.
I want to
switch.
Oh,
not.
I mean, I have an OLED TV.
Oh, okay.
As well.
That wasn't.
But I do have an OLED Switch.
Oh, okay.
I was not intending to buy an OLED Switch, but then they made a Pokemon one. So I bought the Pokemon OLED.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm trying, I'm holding off, but what I've been doing is going around and doing like little side quest stuff, clearing up some of the smaller little rifts to
hey, that's what I'm doing now too.
To give Try a little more
oomph.
Yes.
See, I went the opposite way. I did the Fair and Wetlands. I finished that now.
Oh, good.
And now I'm doing other things and sort of uncovering the rest of the map.
Okay, so you still got to
actually doing
Fire and Ice?
Two. Well, I've started the ascent up the icy mountain and met the characters there.
Yes.
And yeah. And I went to the Great Fairy now.
Oh, good.
Too. Did that whole thing. I don't think I would have gone there.
Well, you're welcome.
Had you not mentioned it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been exploring the map and uncovering some more echoes. And yeah, I'm kind of, I guess, in the middle of the frozen area now.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I bought all the upgrades from the Great Fairy.
Yeah.
To max out my, the number of amulets that I can wear or whatever.
Yeah.
And then after
I need to get more amulets. Then
buy some stuff when you go into the town, you weirdo.
I am buying the amulets. I am doing that.
Aggressive. My goodness.
There's apparently an amulet that increases the likelihood that you'll find rupees.
Yeah.
Where the hell is that?
Really early on, because I have it.
Yeah. I don't have it, so
you got to go visit the towns you've just sort of ran.
It's probably in Gerudo. It's probably like the first town.
Go look in the shops. Like pretty much every every shop has one you can buy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But once you purchase all the upgrades from the Great Fairy, there's another mission that she sends you on. To create a necklace for her, and that gives I just finished that one too. I got the reward for that.
Nice.
So there's lots to do.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying the game a whole lot. I just did a couple of side quests in the Fair and Wetlands.
Yeah.
The Deku Scrubs.
Oh, yes.
And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm still enjoying the game. I'm still having fun with it. I'm not in any rush really at the moment to finish it. I'm just kind of bebopping along, discovering some things.
Well, hold in there, rock steady, and you'll get through it.
Yeah.
Did you do any of the Dampé stuff yet?
So I finally did. So I'd gone to Dampé's house, and he wanted two monsters. One,
yes,
the one with the big eyeball that jumps around. That one's easy. Then they described one that has smoke coming out of its rear to propel itself forward.
Yeah,
I was like, "What the hell is that?"
The fart monster.
I was like, "What?
Which fire cavern?
Which echo is this?"
Power talking about that.
I was like, I do not know what echo that could possibly be. And I Googled it.
Oh, well, because I got it. I just forgot what.
It's a Mothula.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I had it. Of course, I had it. I had a level 2 Mothula, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I got a Mothula. Yeah.
I thought, like hot smoke comes out of its butt to make it go forward. Like that must be a monster in the fire area that I haven't met yet.
Nope.
No. And then also, I thought it was weird that the very first thing Dampé is asking you for is something you hadn't uncovered yet. Like,
hey, I figured to look forward to.
I figured it had to be something that I already had, and it was. Yeah. So now I have my first little automaton, my little wind up,
little mecha thing.
Tektite, yeah.
Yes. Remember in the early aughts when it seemed like every video game had Mothula in it?
No.
Not at all.
Good night, everyone.
Still not getting it.
It's a Dragula.
Oh, right.
Dragula.
Oh, wow.
Like Dragula.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys are idiots.
I didn't get that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're the idiots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, say.
Real photogenic idiots. A lot of you.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's it. I've been playing those.
That's it. That's all you
That's
got.
it. I mean, what else? What more do you want from me? I don't even have a damn
know.
TV at the minute.
I don't know.
What do you want?
Something. Well.
Lodge
what?
Art Grimoire. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Remember that P-Cross game?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Where you can play my exclusive puzzle.
Yes.
The Steam version has some DLC that you can get. And it's coming to the Switch version later.
Why is it coming to the Switch version later? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Probably because of something you did.
Probably.
I don't know. I mean,
it's out on Steam and Switch. Why not just
I don't know.
put it out?
The Switch version of the full game came out on Steam. Or the Switch version of the full game. The Steam version of the full game came out before Switch, so
it did, yeah, but no reason why you would have to.
What do I look like? The CEO of Jupiter?
Yes, you do.
Well, he's a very good-looking fella.
Striking resemblance
I don't
to the
mind
CEO
saying.
of Jupiter. Go to their homepage.
But I don't. I don't know why.
Okay.
There are 3 DLC packs. One is free.
Oh.
The other 2 are $1 each.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's nothing.
That's
$2.
fair. That's fair.
$2 gets you a lot of it.
How many more puzzles?
I think there's like a few.
A few?
I don't remember. I didn't.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I didn't really pay that close of attention. I just saw new DLC packs and said, yes, please. Can I give you more money?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see here. DLC now available.
Uh-huh.
It says on the cover.
Does it say how many puzzles?
It probably does. How do you get to?
I assume it does.
How do you get to DLC? I don't want the news. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's got
we
some.
did news. Okay, so it's got more puzzles.
It's got more puzzles.
That's good. That's good.
Isn't that what we all want?
Yeah.
Out of this crazy world, more puzzles.
Kinda. Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, I will tell you.
What are you going to tell me?
Now that in Echoes of Wisdom, I found the Great Fairy.
Real quick.
Bought some upgrades. Yes.
What's 10 plus 14 plus 7? 21, 31. 31 puzzles.
Okay.
That's in part 2. I'm assuming it's the same for each. So let's say approximately 100 new puzzles.
Perfect.
Look at that. You're welcome.
Perfect. All right. Well, since I met the Great Fairy in Echoes of Wisdom, I was able to unlock the ability to accessorize more and unlock more amulet slots.
Good.
And
that's Chalamet slots.
Yeah.
More
Chalamet slots.
More Shamalama Ding Dongs slots.
Jeez Louise.
And
I don't know why it's so funny, but it is.
And then, so I had the one for jumping higher. I didn't have that one equipped at the moment.
Oh.
I had one for like faster swimming.
That's like you got to have that one equipped all the time.
Why are you doing anything without
those
that
are,
one?
Those are the two that make me wish I had extra Chalamet slots because I'm constantly switching between them because the swim faster one is great and the jumping one is
talk to the Great Fairy.
I don't play that game.
She'll hook you up.
Yeah. And there's a warp right next to the Great Fairy. You go back
you
there.
Warp right there.
Yeah.
Easy access.
Then I'd have to
Easy
turn
peasy.
the game on again. Okay.
Tell you what, I haven't used the horse very much at all.
No, I keep forgetting there is a horse in the game.
Well, and I don't think I have unlocked the power to just call the horse over. I don't think so. Or if I did, I forgot how to
I think you just get that when you get the horse. I don't think that's an upgrade.
It isn't?
I'm pretty sure it's you have the horse and now here's a button to call it. I think.
Well, I haven't pushed it. I guess.
Is it one of the D-pads?
No, it's not. I don't think.
I know one of the D-pads brings up your little Dompe mechs.
Oh, yeah, it's the left arrow that does the Dompe mix.
Yeah. Always the left arrow for Dompe.
Okay.
That's the classic slogan, left arrow for Dompe.
Okay. All
I've
right.
been saying that since like the NES days.
Oh, all right. Sure. So yeah. What was I gonna say?
We were talking about horses.
I'm really enjoying the game still.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, it is a fine video game. All right. And then I was in Las Vegas this past week.
Nevada?
Family trip, to Vegas that was planned. And my wife was going to see Adele. So Adele, the performer, you may remember, not Timothy Chalamet.
When she got the tickets for the show, and she showed them to you, did she hold up the tickets and say, "Dude, we're getting Adele"?
No, because nobody has physical tickets anymore, Phil.
I don't understand.
It's not a thing that happens anymore. But
did she hold up the app with the QR code?
Yeah,
and say, "Dude,
we're
getting Adele."
We're getting Adele, yeah.
She said that.
No.
Here's how many people even get that reference.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody gets that reference.
I mean, I'm talking to two people who got it.
Meme before memes.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It was a great commercial, though.
This was supposed to be, she was supposed to see Adele back in the spring. And unfortunately, she had to postpone the shows. Adele had to postpone because she got sick.
Did she put up a sign that said, "Dude, you're not getting Adele"?
No, but I think Caesar's Palace did. On the
that would
box
make
office.
Sense.
Yeah.
Assuming that was the venue.
Yeah, that is.
It'd be weird if it wasn't the venue, but Caesar's Palace still put that up.
So anyway, I didn't go to Vegas in the spring but my wife and her friend did, and then when that got canceled, they planned another trip for all of our families to go to the rescheduled date, which was this past week. And so we went, and while my wife and her friends were at Adele, my daughter and I went to the Pinball Hall of Fame.
Nice. Oh. That's cool.
Yeah.
And?
Which is in
Did she learn that Dad
Las
sucks
Vegas,
at pinball?
Nevada. I'm better than she is, so. No. Yeah, she did learn that.
After every game, CJ was like, "In your face."
In your face. No, she did learn that I'm bad at pinball, but she is also bad, so it evened out. It's a family trait.
Chip off the old block.
It's a family trait of ours. But we went because my daughter, as I think I've said on this podcast before, is big into Batman and Superman. And I was like, well, there's definitely going to be Batman and Superman pinball machines at the Pinball Hall of Fame. We should go. And she was like, yes, let's go. So we went. And indeed, there are
good
pinball machines for Superman and Batman. But and I'd been to the Pinball Hall of Fame before. I had my bachelor party at the Pinball Hall of Fame.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't know. Because I got married in Vegas. And my best man, we went to the Pinball Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
These Batman.
It has moved since. It is not in the location it was in when it moved to the Strip.
Well, I mean, Earth orbits the sun, so it's kind of constantly moving.
Wow.
Where's the lie, Greg?
It's true.
So,
what's your question, Phil?
These Batman, Superman machines.
Yeah.
What version? Like, what are they? Comic licensed? Are they movie licensed?
Well, okay, the Superman machine was comic licensed.
Okay.
And it was an Atari branded Superman pinball machine.
Okay.
So nothing from the movie, and it was very old school. I don't even know if the 1978 movie had been released when this came out.
Wow.
I'm
Really?
not sure. Yeah, I'm not positive.
Okay.
No voice samples or anything like that. Yeah, it was very minimalistic.
1979, apparently.
Oh, okay. So, well, it didn't have any movie license
But
stuff.
yeah, I'm looking at pictures of it now.
Yeah, but it was a nice machine. We played that first and had a lot of fun with that. And then we were, kind of going up and down the rows. Have you guys been to the Pinball Hall of Fame before?
No.
Okay. When I went there,
I'd like to, but yeah, I don't really get to Vegas too often. So
yeah, the unfortunate thing was a lot of machines were either not on or were out of order.
Oh.
So I was hoping, like when we walked down an aisle and most of the machines were off, I was like, well, I hope the machines that we want to play are active. Right. Luckily, Superman was. And
You know who worked on that pinball machine?
Who?
Eugene Jarvis.
Oh, all right. Nice.
Creator of Robotron and Defender, right?
Yeah. Cruisin' Blast's own Eugene Jarvis.
That's right.
And then we walked down a row that had newer pinball machines, and they had a Batman 1966 machine.
Oh, okay.
Cool. That is newer vintage. It had video clips and the whole shebang.
Yes.
But it was based on the 1966 television show.
From Stern Pinball.
From Stern.
Released in 2016.
Yeah. And my daughter loved that.
Oh, how could she not?
It was a lot of fun because it had sound clips and everything.
Oh, nice.
From the show, and it was great. Great fun. And then we played Jaws as well. We played the Jaws pinball machine, which is way newer. I think that is quite new. And had a lot of fun with that. And then we walked up and down, looked at some old arcade games. My daughter Charlotte is also a fan of Seinfeld. Again, chip off the old block. And there was a Frogger machine, and she was like, "Yes, I must play Frogger." So we played.
Frogger's pretty awesome
as well.
That's my favorite pinball machine.
No, well, I mean they have arcade games there too.
Oh, I see.
It's
a
both.
Misnomer.
It is, yeah. But I mean, it was fun. The place was, it's like a big warehouse,
right,
with pinball machines and old arcade games that are a lot of them not in service, which kind of sucked. But
that's a bummer.
That was a bummer.
Bad. You would think that. I mean, not that it's easy to keep those things running, but you would think that a place like that would have a pretty decent staff that would be on top of that.
Yeah,
we would have spent a lot longer amount of time there had some of the other machines been up. Yeah. So, but
I'm curious if they had a machine of baby Pac-Man.
No, not.
Boo.
Boo-earns.
In the
Simpsons pinball machine, they had it there, but it was not in service.
Once the Simpsons pinball machine that once adorned the cover of Electronic Gaming Monthly.
That's right. The very same. Yeah. Yeah.
Because Baby Pac-Man, if you've played it back in the day,
which it was
a half pinball machine, half video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was it wasn't terribly
interesting
good
idea. It wasn't a good game.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good pinball game, and it was kind of a terrible version of Pac-Man.
Yeah.
But
it was
definitely novel to have two terrible games kind of spliced together.
Well, if you're in Vegas and looking for something to do, Pinball Hall of Fame is a pretty good stop, I'd say, and not far away from the Strip. It's just past Mandalay Bay towards the Las Vegas sign, and I'd say check it out.
Nice.
The cab on the way there was like, I've never been here. What do they have?
Oh, really?
Is it just a museum? I was like, no, you go in and play. And then the Uber on the way back was like, I've never picked anybody up here. So it was like, uh-oh.
It's like,
this must not be popular.
Maybe we're learning why Most of the machines aren't working.
Yeah. Maybe we are. Yeah.
Did you do anything else? Did you see any shows or anything?
No, I didn't see any shows. I went on.
Sounds like a great trip.
Went on the roller coaster at New York.
Okay.
With my daughter, her first roller coaster that went upside
cool, is
down
that right?
and everything. So yeah,
nice. Did she enjoy it?
Yeah, it terrified the heck out of her, but she wanted to go again.
Okay, that's kind of the point, right?
That is the point.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I played a demo of Caravan Sandwich, which is it's an open world exploration game. Kind of a very fetch questy narrative game, but it has a really nice sort of cel shaded look to it, and I don't know, kind of chill, fun vibes.
I'm noticing in our little show planning document here, that sandwich is spelled
wrong.
WITCH.
Which, yeah.
And is that a typo on your part, or is that
no? That's what it's called. Sandwich.
Witches are involved.
I guess.
Okay.
Not in the demo. Not in the demo.
Maybe it's a typo on the developer's part?
I don't think so.
It would seem unlikely, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Not sure. But anyway, you drive around in this sort of VW bus looking thing and do fetch quests for various people. You're trying to find out why your sister disappeared in the game, but you're doing a bunch of fetch quests.
Okay.
But it seems fun, and the demo is pretty chill and enjoyable.
Is it one of those like kind of cozy games that you love so much?
I think it is like a kind of cozy-ish,
like a
game.
Cozy adventure game.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
something like that. Anyway, that's all I've been playing. So, Greg, you're up.
Yeah. So I didn't play much this week. But I did jump into a game that I've been looking forward to for a while now, called Neva.
What?
Which is the follow-up to Gris, Gris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by I forget the name of the team. Devolver published it. Nomada Studio.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if either of you ever played Gris.
You know what?
But it's really good.
I guess I was playing that this week.
Oh, really?
I didn't really mention it. It's kind of an older game, obviously.
Yeah, isn't it on PlayStation Plus or something right
Which
now?
is why I started playing it.
It's on everything, yeah.
Yeah.
But it like went free.
Yeah.
Yeah. On
it's also an Apple arcade game.
Oh, is it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on everything. So anyway, this is the follow-up. I don't know if it's and I feel bad because I meant to go back and look and see. I don't know if this is like a direct sequel. I think it might be, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Gris is great. It's just a really sort of chill, beautiful game. It's sort of like a watercolor, I'd say, would the art style.
Absolutely,
that's what I'd say, watercolor. And a fantastic soundtrack. Neva is, as far as the audiovisual experience, more of the same. It doesn't play quite the same. It's pretty. It takes a while for it to start, but it's pretty combat heavy. And you're constantly, you have a companion with you, which is actually where the title of the game comes from. The companion, it's a little like dog type creature at first, anyway, named Neva. And so the way that I've probably played through about half of it at this point. It's not a very long game, probably like less than 4 hours, from what I'm reading. But the whole thing, there's a level of progression that's based on seasons. So when you start, you're in summer. And of course that has a lot to do with the sort of the color palette that's being used. And then like chapter 2, you're in autumn. So, lots of reds and oranges and things like that in the color. And now I'm actually in chapter 3 in winter. And it's been interesting to see how I think they've done a really great job of just sort of really gradually introducing more play mechanics. And it's a little bit clunky sometimes because I think they do a great job from a navigation standpoint of using a lot of animation in the background and being kind of really subtle about some things and foreshadowing from a story perspective. It's great. But a lot of times when you sort of get a new play mechanic, it's very much like a big button flashes up on the screen and says, press this now. And like, this is your new mechanic, which it feels a little bit less elegant than the rest of the game. But I do like the different mechanics that you get. So there's the fair amount of sword fighting. These little like shadow creatures. It almost reminds me of Eco in the little creatures that appear. And I there's probably a proper name for this. They're little shadow creatures. A lot of them are wearing like white masks. Looks like something you'd see out of a oh shoot, I can't remember the name of the filmmaker.
Studio Ghibli.
Thank you. Like
Miyazaki?
a Studio Ghibli film, Miyazaki.
Yeah.
But yeah, it reminds me a lot of Eco in that regard too. And then like there's a whole thing where in this world there's a lot of different like it's all about nature, and you see a lot of sort of fantastical creatures all over the place, and a lot of them are really huge. And as you get further into the game, a lot of these shadow creatures are actually they're taking over like the corpses of these creatures, or even I don't even think they're dead at the point that they take them over, but like so you end up fighting a lot of these creatures, but in such a way that you're trying to avoid, well, you can't really hurt them so much as you want to destroy the creatures that are possessing them. But that's sort of how they build in like enemy variety, and sort of the boss battles are based on a lot of that. And then the other thing is that, like I said, Neva is your companion. It's like a little dog-like companion at first, but it gains more powers as well. And also, well, I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't played much of it yet, but Neva does evolve and becomes more integral to your navigation and your combat. But for the first chapter especially, he's more a companion you have to take care of than but it's not like a big protection mission or anything like that either. It's but anyway, yeah, I played about 2 hours of it today. Really enjoying it. I don't know that it's grabbing me the same way Grease did the first time I played it, but that's not to say that it's bad. It's because that game was fantastic, and it was something that I wasn't really expecting. I played it on a recommendation by one of our listeners, Scoop Joey, and just was sort of blown away by how much I enjoyed it. But this one is still quite good. I do like where the story is going. It's gotten really platform heavy the deeper I've gotten into it. And I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. Like the vistas and everything that you see on the later levels, and the use of color and everything that in the game is just like, it's breathtaking so much of the time. So, and it's like, it's cheap. It was like $26 here. So probably 20 or less for the Americans. But nice. Yeah, it's, I'm really enjoying it. And it's kind of a nice change of pace too. Although the combat does get pretty heavy at times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I wasn't quite expecting. But the different abilities that you're unlocking, the further you get into it, it doesn't bother me. It's because I feel like they're giving you the tools you need to do like crowd control, even though you're a single character for most of the time. So yeah, no, really enjoying it a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's all I really played this week. And that was mostly today.
All right, then I guess that means it's time for tweets. Tweet, tweet. Alrighty. Well, we had gotten some questions on the Ask P1P channel on Discord, and I've been neglecting going back to read those. So we'll do some of those now. Let's do this one from Helvete Shunden, who says, do you feel like console generations should be longer due to diminishing returns? We know CJ is likely to get a PS5 Pro sooner or later, but do any of you feel like we're really hitting the limitations of the current consoles rather than the budget constraints for optimization during game development? I'm a big fan of long-lived console generations and even new software for very old machines because they can often be pushed very far technically compared to early releases in a console cycle. See, for example, the recent Spelunky port for this Commodore 64, unthinkable in the Commodore 64 heyday. It seems like a few games have really wowed on series boxes / PS5 this far into the generation. What do you think?
I kind of lost the thread of that question.
Do you feel like console generations should be longer because of diminishing returns? So meaning that as a console cycle continues on, people get better adept at making better visuals on existing hardware, right?
I think they're already longer anyway. I think that's the new norm.
It is getting pretty long.
There's still plenty of stuff coming out on like
PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
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 Well, apparently a lot of people own PS4s still. So
there was an interesting, and I don't know the name of the podcast, but I probably find it if I look quickly. Here it is. There was a podcast that Jason Schreier was on recently with Adam Conover. I don't remember the name of the actual podcast, but he had some opinions on that I thought made a lot of sense, which was but he was saying the same thing, that the PS4 in particular, but that generation is still super important because he mostly laid the blame at the feet of service games. Because Minecraft and Fortnite and stuff like that, people are still playing that, and they're still playing it on those consoles. Yeah. And I mean, we saw the knock-on effect of that, which was, I feel like this generation has gone really long as well, but it's because I felt like, and it still feels like this generation hasn't even started. It's so weird to say that. It feels that way in so many ways, right? Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I feel like what you just said, and I forget what game it was this week, but I remember it being announced and seeing like, oh, it's a PS4 game. Like prominently displayed, this is a PlayStation 4 game.
Yeah.
Oh, and almost everything. I mean, when I bought Neva this week, it's like, which version you want to download? PS4, PS5. You know, like it's normal now for. And I mean, we had that back in the day, like when, say, the PlayStation 2 came out, especially, but it was usually sports games that would keep doing this. Yeah. Where it's like, NHL 2002 came out. Yeah, but well, Just Dance is a good example too, actually. But like back then, it used to be sports games. Like NHL 2002 came out on the PlayStation 2. Oh, there's a PS1 version as well. Nobody really cared, but there was a sort of a small subset of people that were still wanted to play those. Enough people that it made sense to release those games. Yeah. But like now, it's not just sports games. Like you said, Just Dance is another great example. Right? Because there are people who still have their old consoles, and it makes perfect sense to support those consoles because there are so many of them out there that are still in active use. Yeah. So, it's not, people aren't just giving their PS4s to the little brothers like we used to give our NES to our little brothers or nephews or whatever because we had a Super Nintendo. That's not how it works anymore. Yeah. But yeah, I think there are diminishing returns. I don't know that it's because the console generations aren't long enough. Yeah. It's because they're not supplanted by the new generation the way they used to be.
Yeah, I think that's right. But I do think as this generation stretches on, you will see teams like Naughty Dog or Sucker Punch or Insomniac get better at what they were doing.
Oh, sure.
From Spider-Man 2 to whatever they're from that to Wolverine. I'm sure there's going to be advancements, and nowadays in the PS4 days, or you look at like launch PS3 games to what came out in the final year of that console, like it was a drastic difference. I think now it may be a little bit different since a lot of PS5 games are still getting updated for like PS5 Pro in terms of graphics modes. So it won't be as drastic maybe, but I think, we'll still see that. And we'll still see more teams doing stuff like that. But again, like, since a lot of teams now are kind of using existing engines like Unreal and
that's a good point too.
Unity, there isn't as much need to like code to the metal as there used to be. Which
that's a really good point.
Was a lot of that sort of like late stage console generation.
You don't have all the AAA publishers building their own engines anymore.
No,
like, remember when like a new Metal Gear Solid was coming out? A big part of the conversation was always like, whatever they called their engine, like, we've updated this engine, this custom engine we built, and I mean, it used to be the same with a lot of big publishers and a lot of big developers.
Yeah,
but that absolutely.
But you are seeing that with
a lot of things.
With Sony's team, like Guerrilla has their own engine that they use, and I'm not sure if Naughty Dog. I think Naughty Dog is in the same boat where they're using their own thing,
right?
But so that's a little different than
common.
Not nearly as common, yeah. And publishers like Ubisoft, they're using whatever it is, their own custom engine, but it's
like EA was pushing Frostbite on all its teams at one point too.
Yeah, but it's going to be the same across all platforms. There's no benefit to them like making a PS5 version look better than
that's the
any other version, right?
That's the thing, I think, and it's a confluence of a lot of different elements, and like what you said, I think actually, yes, that makes perfect sense. We're not seeing the technological jump between generations to the point now where we're doing iterative consoles. I mean, you go back and look at, not even looking at the transition from 2D to 3D in like the mid 90s, which was huge. But I mean, my God, the leap between like the PlayStation and the PlayStation 2, and the leap between like the Xbox and the Xbox 360 and the Dreamcast, the PlayStation and the Dreamcast. And like, they were big leaps, and you don't get that anymore. Not that the new consoles aren't impressive,
right?
That the tricks they can do are super impressive, but they're not sort of as dazzling as they once were. It wasn't the generational shift is not nearly as big as it once was. And again, there's a huge incentive to support the previous generation, much bigger than there ever has been in the history of the industry. And games are so expensive to make now, right? Like, and I think that speaks to what you're talking about with using third-party middleware and things like that. I mean, we were talking about Prince of Persia earlier. Prince of Persia was released as a budget game, wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't full price. That took 3 years to make. Like, it's not. It's the costs are so high now, and it just doesn't make it worth. I think that's slowing down. You're right. Like, when you look at the first PS4 games compared to like the final PS4 games that were, the PS4 games that were coming out when the PS5 was introduced, there is a leap because people got better at the system, and the engines got better and more efficient. But I don't think you see that technological advancement even on the software side that you used to, because the risks are so high now. There's no point. There's no point in doing it.
No. Yeah, I agree. Now it's more about the games, man. All right, let's do this one from hacker alias Tiger Riot. Tigeriot. Do you feel like games need to get a lot prettier from here? I was thinking about how long we have to wait for developers to make new big budget games, such as Naughty Dog, and I don't think I'd be upset if we never got a game that looked better than Uncharted 4 or The Last of Us Part 2, especially if it meant we could actually get newer games every 4 years instead of 6. Here's the problem. Consumer expectation. If you're Sony, you have set the expectation that graphics are going to advance, and you're probably going to try to push that as much as possible because it's consumer perception. Like, you can't say, oh, we'll just make a game that looks as good as Uncharted 4 for the next thing. Like that. It works for you maybe because you're thinking about this, but to the general consumer, they're not going to be satisfied by that.
I don't think that. I mean, I think that if you're only paying attention to a small handful of developers, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like there's any shortage of huge games to play every year. Like there's so many publishers and there's so many games coming out that even though games take a lot longer to make at this point, there's still way more games coming out that I want to play that I can actually play.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always leaving things behind every year.
You have plenty of games that don't look as good as Uncharted 4. Are you playing them? Like, do you know what they are? Are you playing them? Like, if you're not paying attention to that, then you're kind of in that cycle of needing better graphics. Like, because there are loads of games by so many developers, so many great games coming out that don't look as good as some of the stellar first party stuff we've seen from Sony Studios.
I think the bigger drain is that so many studios are still in the trap of my game needs to have 100+ hours of content.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bigger problem.
Absolutely.
But they keep making Yakuza games and Phil keeps playing them.
I'm not saying that some studios aren't good at it.
That's true. They are good at it,
but not all of them.
Very, very good at it.
Would I prefer if like a Dragon games were like 40 hours? Yeah, I would. I would.
You would.
Absolutely.
I know I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think, do games need to get a lot prettier? Probably not. I think we have hit the point where it doesn't even matter. Like, you know, your average consumer, when they look at an Unreal Engine 5 demo with the foliage, or have any regular person, not a Digital Foundry fan, look at a Digital Foundry video and tell you if they actually notice the foliage on the trees and the rendering of the leaves and whether the lighting is pre-baked or real time. Like, I don't think a lot of people notice that stuff. But hey, what do I know?
Don't know.
Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Docky, who says, you've been hired by food brands to help re-release retro games. The games will be free, but must have aggressive snack food references inserted throughout via ROM hack. Which games do you pick, and how will snacks feature?
Mick and Mac Global Gladiators. Work's already done.
The work is done. Yes.
Cool spot. There it is.
Fido die. Oh, wait a minute.
Let's see. Missile Command with Spree. I don't know.
With
like
what?
Candy Spree?
Like the candy spree.
I don't know that reference.
So would Spree be coming down?
Spree would be, no, you'd be firing Spree up to just destroy the missiles.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It could be, instead of the missiles, it could be like Chef Boyardee spaghetti, and you're shooting little SpaghettiOs. Oh no, wait, no, that wouldn't make sense because SpaghettiOs are not Chef Boyardee. That's Franco-American.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, that's embarrassing.
You've really embarrassed us now.
Man. God, I'm gonna look like an idiot at Canned Food Con.
And occasionally bits of hot dog would fly by, and if you hit those, you get an extra point. Yeah.
There you go. I'm sure there is a SpaghettiO brand long noodle variant.
What about Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, aka Puyo Puyo, but with Skittles?
That works.
Yeah. Dr. Skittles mean Skittle machine.
What about Metal Gear Solid with Popeye brand candy cigarettes?
What?
Oh.
Is that the kind that have the sugar in them that you, when you blow through
No, the ones that I had, they were literally just little sticks of sugar, but they had, they were colored on one end. It looked like they had a filter, and they had a little red dot on the other end.
So you didn't have the bubblegum cigarettes that you blew.
No.
Yeah, they'd have like
a cloud.
They'd have like what were they dipped in, like flour or something?
It was like powdered sugar,
confectioner's sugar. And you'd blow into them, and a little puff of smoke would come out.
You'd think, oh man, I'm cool now.
Look at me. I've never seen that.
Yep.
Yeah. Or let's see. You know the mini game in Sonic, what is it called? Blue sphere?
Blue sphere?
Blue sphere.
Yeah. Just get some cherry cherry glands.
Jesus Christ.
Tying it back.
Yeah.
Lemon heads.
You could have gone with just lemon heads.
No,
You're running along a giant lemon head.
Can't do it.
Collecting
cherry
boy.
glands. Yeah.
Ugh.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's calm down. Let's do one last thing.
Todd's Adventures in Slime World.
Yeah.
But you're running through, instead of a world of slime, it's a world of mold generated by Mr. Beast's Lunchables.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
You're running through a world of moldy cheese brought to you
I
by
like
Mr.
that.
Beast, and whichever one of the Paul brothers is in on that. And with another guy. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. You really got to take down Big Lunchable.
I think they're doing a good job taking themselves
right.
down. I don't think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All
Mr.
right.
Beast,
Let's do this
Mr.
one.
Beast is doing fine.
From Mac Aurelius Mudron, who says, "What candy are y'all handing out this year?
Oh,
I'm lucky enough to only get a handful of trick-or-treaters every year, so I splurge on a variety pack or two of full-sized bars."
Oh,
that's magic right there.
that's a good house.
Yeah.
Right there.
Your best friend Mike's house.
Oh, yeah? Does he do the full-size
he gives
candy
out
bars?
the full-size
Oh, yeah?
candy bars. I was at his place the other day,
Damn.
and he already had the bowl ready.
Oh,
I didn't
man.
steal one. I should have, but I didn't.
Yes, you definitely should have.
Yeah.
We get a lot of trick-or-treaters here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if I'd go broke handing out full-size candy bars
Yeah.
in this neighborhood.
We get a fair amount, too, so do something smaller. Do the fun size.
Yeah, I just got a couple big old bags of the fun size. And you're looking for stuff that you like as well.
Yeah, because if you get stuck with it, you have to eat it. So
Stuck with it.
stuck.
Air
with
quotes.
it. Are you dressing up for Halloween?
Who, me?
Yeah. Either of you guys. You do that.
No.
I got my Ghostbuster outfit.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Last year I got my Ghostbuster. That's my forever Halloween costume.
Your forever Halloween costume.
Yeah.
So my daughter's going as Batman.
Okay.
I'm going as 1966 Robin.
Are you really?
I have a whole get.
That's awesome.
You have like little shorts?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Are you going to be sharing pictures of that?
I'm sure I will.
Oh, you bloody well better.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Please do. Oh my goodness. Now what Batman is she going as?
It's just like I think it's a Christian Bale Batman.
Oh, so you're mixing
It's
continuity. This is multiverse shenanigans.
It's multiverse shenanigans going on. Yeah, because there wasn't really a Robin. I mean, there's not like a new Robin. So you have to go old. Go old school.
Well, did you not watch the
Old school. No, I didn't.
You didn't watch the Nolan movies?
I did, yeah.
Joseph Gordon
Yeah, but
Levitt
there's no
is Robin.
Do you want me to wear some street clothes?
Yeah. A t-shirt that just says, "This is my Joseph Gordon-Levitt Robin costume."
That's right.
That's it.
Okay. Anyway.
So yeah, we're giving out what I forget what's in our little variety pack, but
I have little Snickers, Milky
with
Way,
peanut butter cups and
peanut butter cups,
some Reese's, little bags of Skittles, little bags of Sour Patch Kids.
You gotta have some chocolate. You gotta have some peanut butter. You gotta have some Skittles.
Yes.
Yeah. All that stuff.
Yeah. I would absolutely do the full bars, but yeah, we get
too many.
We get too many kids.
Yeah.
We do. We get a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So
we get 0 kids.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, my street is CJ's been here.
Yeah.
My street is off a main road. It's just we never get kids down here.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even bother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even when the kids live on this street, they don't trick or treat on this street. So.
I see.
Our neighborhood has kind of like an 80s Spielberg vibe to it, so it's very much like that kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Kind of the same here.
Yeah.
Well, is that it? I think that's it.
I know I'm going to be stopping at Bill's house then.
I'm going to drive down to Bill's house.
Get me a Three Musketeers bar.
I need one of them full-size candy bars.
Yeah. Candy's yummy. I don't know if you guys have ever had.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It is. Why did I almost stop the stream? I almost stopped the stream.
Don't do that.
That was weird.
CJ,
what I'm doing this year, you know how every year for the past couple of years, there are those scare stories about people giving out weed gummies.
Yeah.
You know?
So
that's
you're
what
actually
I'm
doing it
this year.
You're doing it this year.
Yeah. I can't afford full-size bars, but I can absolutely afford to just hand out edibles willy-nilly. My goodness. I am not doing that.
Me neither.
For any authorities listening.
Save those for yourself.
I will not be distributing drugs to children this Halloween. No. That was a joke. I said it in jest. Just want that on the record.
All right.
Yeah. And now they can't touch me.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or a comment about something you heard, who knows what that might be, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters or the Blue Skies or the Threads. And we have an old school website as well, player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward. You'll find Generation 16 episodes as they happen. You will find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about, and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting the aforementioned player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks. Typically, we record our show on Sunday evenings at 5:30 Pacific time, but please follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we're doing our next live show. We hope that you join us. And I'll tell you what, friend O's, if you've liked what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. My TV's busted.
Huh. Yeah.
And wouldn't it be great if you all could pay for a new TV set for me? CJ, is that a great idea?
No, it is not. Sorry.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
CJ won't let me use your money for a new TV.
No. But
what we will use your money for is keeping our show streaming and all that stuff. All those costs of running a podcast, you know how it goes. But I'll tell you what, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain special access to a weekly bonus episode we recorded right after this. We play games, crack wise, having fun doing all that stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ,
yaha.
Do we have a game this week?
Phil.
Yes.
Let me level with you.
Oh, yes, please do.
This is always honest good news. With you. I feel like we need to wrap.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Phil, and I'm here to say I want to play a cool new game today.
Well, good, because we do have a Jeopardy game. This quiz is about the Legend of Zelda series.
Oh.
Ooh.
So...
Now, when you say the Legend of Zelda series,
yes,
do you mean the series of video games that are quite popular? Or do you mean the
That's
animated series that aired every Fridays during the Super Mario Brothers Super Show?
I believe it's the games. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I guess that's okay too.
We'll just have to see.
Well,
yeah.
Excuse me, CJ.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's very exciting. Was that sent to us?
It was from the person who sent us
Whose name I don't have right in front of me.
They have sent us quite a few Jeopardy games that we've liked, that we've
Okay.
really had fun with. So I assume this one will be the same.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you go to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Philip. And if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
So cheap.
good evening, Satan. You excited about the 31st?
Oh, that's why I was using my spooky voice.
What kind of candy do you give out?
Oh, I don't give out candy.
What?
I give out boiling hot magma poured straight into the anus.
Wow.
And that's the treat.
Doesn't
Would you like to
sound-
know the trick?
Doesn't sound delicious at all.
It's not meant to be. It's hell. It's supposed to be.
I mean, you know,
little
if they were just
punishment.
like fun-sized Kit Kats or something, that would be hell too. You don't have to go that drastic.
You get a fun-sized anus full of magma.
You get access to the Weekly Commute, which is a weekly vlog series that we'll be talking about all the different projects I'm working on. And you get early access to my videos this coming Saturday.
Oh?
You will get early access to the latest Let's Read video where I talk about working on Expert Gamer issue number 69.
Nah.
So please
That's
support
a
it if you
dirty number.
please support it if you feel like you want to.
What's did we talk about this? What's on the cover of that issue?
Mario Party 2
That's right. We did.
and
talk
Crazy
about
Taxi.
it. And I like Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, me too.
Good game.
Crazy Taxi is great.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it?
That's it.
Is that it?
I think
Is that it for all of us?
Yeah.
CJ, when's your next live show going to be? Where are you performing next week?
Right here on the
You got any
YouTubes.
gigs coming up?
No.
Okay.
No gigs.
Okay.
Yeah.
CJ,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Sure. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Oh, absolutely. And a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners, every single darn one of you. Remember, as always, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, your family, your friends. Be kind to each other, be kind to yourself. And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloodles.